are so glad to have you here for another SARE session. I am Jenny Anchondo, and I am merely here to kind of help guide you through and be your host and MC, sort of welcoming you to the party today. So we have our guest back again for a second week in a row. She gave us a lot of good information last week. The replay for that is already out on SARE National's YouTube page, by the way. And she's back for another session. But today's topic is maximizing profits. Everybody loves that, right? Everybody loves maximizing profits. And specifically, we're leveraging advanced payment processing and business internet. So Jackie Jones is here. She is the owner and president of Global Legacy Solutions, LLC. So she does residential, she does business, she does internet payment processing, security, healthcare. I mean, I'm just wondering how she figured out how to even have the logins for all these different programs that she's in. I mean, I would be out after one, but listen, she has been working for 30 years in the mortgage industry. She helped individuals in obtaining their dream of home ownership through utilizing down payment assistance by aiding the knowledge needed to understand all steps in the process, from building credit, understanding financial literacy, budgeting, mortgage terminology, and also the all-important part of having a strategy after the keys are delivered. So she's taking that experience and really expanding it to, again, help individuals and to help business owners. She really has a passion for helping people, a passion for educating. We really got into it last week, talking about last week's topic. So if you missed that one, it's out on the YouTube channel. Don't leave us right now if you're here with us live, just catch it later. The beautiful thing about the YouTube channel is that you can listen to those on repeat while you're getting ready in the morning, while you're eating your breakfast, while you're eating your lunch, and just think of it as passive education, where you can sit here and listen and receive that education. So Jackie Jones, the floor is yours. I'm going to mute myself, and from here on out, I turn into a participant. I'm going to be taking notes right alongside everybody. And if you have any questions, post them in the chat, and then I will make sure to ask Jackie on the back end of her presentation, and we'll have some really robust Q&A from there. All right, Jackie, welcome. Good to see you.
Great to see you too, Jenny. Thank you so very much. You are just fantastic at what you do. I just absolutely fell in love with everything about you last week. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to give a special heartwarming thank you to SARE National for the opportunity to educate you guys. And this is something that they've been doing for the community for almost 60 years now. And so it just comes natural that they would just keep adding more flavor to what they do. And I hope that that is what I bring to you guys today. So my goal is just to provide some information for you, some techniques and savings to your business. And if you have questions at the end, we're going to love getting questions. That means that I hopefully did a good job. So I'm going to say, if you don't have questions, that could also mean I did a good job. So let's get started as I move forward here and get prepared. Okay, and let me go full screen here for you. Okay, so as Jenny mentioned, maximizing profit, just the words themselves, what does that mean to your business when it comes to payment processing and internet? We know that there's a lot of internet companies out there, and there's a lot of payment processing companies out there. So what is it that Jackie Jones can tell you that's different? Well, not much, except for the cost. And we'll walk through that and help you to see what we deliver to our customers. So our goal is to empower businesses through a seamless process, but with security and the reliability that you will have customized customer service. That means that you'll have a direct contact that will work with you on each of the products in the business internet as well as the payment processing. It is to help you to feel comfortable about sharing your information as well as getting you the best benefit. And how do we do that? There are some key factors here. We take the information that we have when we're integrating your current processes and solutions that you have within your own shop. And we ensure that you get 24/7 customer service. 24/7 customer service with speaking to an individual and not a machine. So our goal is to serve the small business owners and local merchants. We do this across the US and Canada. And I want to tell you that having that direct contact with us will enable that your processes through the various channels, and you'll see what I mean when I say channels, because there are so many different avenues to payment processing and internet service that when you deliver something in person to someone, online, through the mobile apps, the many mobile apps, and then even call centers, that you are doing it seamlessly without any issues. However, if there happen to be issues, you know that you can call 24/7 to get some support. We will make this process seamless and streamline it to your financial gain and management of your business. That means that we're going to take the invoicing that you currently do and customize it just for you, because there are so many avenues. And the one thing that we're going to introduce while we're customizing that is show you, if you're passing on a fee to your customer, that you can customize and maximize profit for your company. And that is why it's so important that if you're doing payment processing now, for us to actually see what you've done in the last month or 2 months, 2 months preferably, but 1 month will do. And we'll able to customize that and show you profit at your current processing that you have every month. However, if you're doing 300, 500, 3,000, 10,000, it does not matter. It's customized to you. With our internet service, we will deliver reliability, uptime, and uninterrupted business operations. And what does that mean for you? That means that a backup to the backup. So if your internet goes down, we're going to already have in place options for you to keep your business going on. And needless to say, in our today's world, probably pre-COVID, we would not have thought of that the way that we think of it today, because it changed our lives forever in the way that we do business and the way that we deliver business. So I think everyone had to rethink how they do their business and how will I keep my business continuously to run. But more important, in doing all of that, how can I still have profit for my business? So we deliver that by letting you see transparency in our fees. We provide the financial clarity, and you can predict what your profits will be. It's a customized system just for your business, because of course, we work with all types of businesses, but we customize that to your payment processing that you're offering, as well as your internet service that you're needing to provide to your customers, or to just run your day-to-day business. I have all the tools that I need to provide you the service that I know that will give you 100% of the quality that you deserve. So we tailor our services uniquely to you and your business, no matter what size. Everyone gets the same quality customer service that we offer. And on top of that, I personally will work with each and every one of you to ensure that you're happy and that you stay happy. That is the goal. Again, I want to tell you that we're currently working with it's called NMI Spear, because they just merged. And what that did was give us a huge footprint across the US and Canada. So we are able to maximize that 24/7 customer service that we promise and provide a response to you immediately, especially if there's technical issues or you just have questions about the process. As part of what I want to do today for any business owner that wants to try our product and test it out, as long as you submit your payment processing, really, I would prefer 2 months. It gives our team enough data to really customize a service and pricing for you. We're going to offer a $250 Amazon gift card for anyone that submits their payment processing by March the 31st, 2024. Because I know that this video will be shown much longer, and I want to ensure that people know that that is through that date. And then once that you decide to set that up, we will make sure that all those processes are taken care of for you. So I want to move to my next slide here. I do want to open it up for questions because what I have found is that in this subject, there could be a lot of questions asked. And I wanted to have more time for any questions that you may have because I want to make sure that we cover. I did want to touch on some of the information that we laid out last week for small business owners as well regarding healthcare. Now, I did not have any slides on here, but I just wanted to hit on some really cool points about Impact Health Sharing. Impact Health Sharing provides a family coverage. It's 24/7 telemedicine at no cost. It, as I mentioned, it covers the whole family. There's no credit check, and it only goes off of the oldest person in the household. The other great thing is that what you're paying now, we will almost guarantee that there's a 30 to 70% drop in what you're doing right now, no matter who it's through. The coverage, it's not for everyone, but it is for the 88% of Americans right now that's paying for the 12% of the individuals that are higher in coverage. And we know that it will revolutionize the healthcare industry. There's no doctor network. That means if I'm in town, out of town, traveling on vacation, and something happens, like things do happen, I can go to any doctor, any specialist, any hospital, any ambulance service, and not have to worry that I'm not covered. That is the peace of mind that I feel that we can bring with our healthcare. Now, Jenny, I would love to open it up for questions and uh, and then open it up for you to ask questions. You are so good at doing that.
Okay, well, let's get into it, Jackie. When we talk about, and I think, people are going to be coming at this from all different perspectives, right? Some that hope to have a business one day, but don't really know much. Some that already have a business, rolling. What exactly is payment processing? What's under that payment processing umbrella?
Thank you so much for asking that. So, payment processing, if you accept Visa or MasterCard of any sort or any other credit card, you normally in today's payment processing world will pass on that cost to your customer. We show you a solution where you can continue to do that, but we show you a solution where you actually will get coverage when you um, complete a transaction through all types of services. And as I mentioned, you may have individuals that you serve online or through a mobile app of yours that they go through and they make a payment. We've heard of the swipe. We've heard of all types of machinery that is used to the Square is another one that is used to do payment processing. So as part of that, we will go through and take each transaction and determine a cost for you when you service your customer. And that means that it's in any industry, anyone that accepts Visa or MasterCard or any other card, I should say.
Anybody who understands Visa or accepts Visa or MasterCard will get this, needs payment processing,
Correct.
right? Because you can't just charge. I can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna, charge you guys for whatever. I'm gonna give you a sip of my, probiotic drink, and I'm gonna charge you for it. You have to have that all set up. Now, what does somebody look for when you're looking for a payment processor? If somebody's never gone through that or never done that, what would somebody look for?
Well, what we will do, first of all, complimentary handholding to make sure that all your questions are answered, and we walk you through the steps. So we would say, first of all, let's identify your customer. What customers will you be servicing? You might be in the service industry, you might be a restaurant, you might be a gas station, you might be the hospital, you might be a cab service. If you accept Visa or MasterCard in every transaction that you're doing, those companies pass on fees to you, and you pass on those fees to your customer. But we show you how to maximize that, where the fee is less to your customer and provide you profit at the end of the day, so that you're not giving most of your profit to that credit card company.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like I don't see this as much anymore, but occasionally you'll run into a scenario where, as a customer, you go to pay for something and it says like you have to have a minimum. This is often gas stations, convenience stores, things like that. You have to have a minimum of, say, $5 in order to use a credit card. Is that because they're paying for their payment processor?
You got it, because there are fees that are limited, and the vendor does not want to have to pay those fees themselves. So that is why they limit those fees. And that brings up a great question, Jenny, because in what we show individuals is how to maximize that and then still have some profit at the end of the day. I tell individuals, would you prefer to have profit when you install a commode or every time you flush the commode?
Flushes. We want the flushes.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, that is what we do really with all of our services. We show individuals how to maximize their dollars. And we know how important that is in the economy that we're in right now, that families have that extra $200, $400 that they can have in the process. And that is my goal, is to try to sing it out on a bullhorn, if I could, how we can help families save every month with what they do, and business owners especially.
Does it make sense for companies to do that situation where they say you have to have a minimum of $5? Does that make, I've never been on the payment processor side. Does that make sense for businesses to do that?
Large businesses, maybe. Okay. But small business owners, less than 49 employees, that can be very costly. But that is what, when we analyze that bill, we're looking for transactions like that to see how we can maximize that for that small business owner. And the one thing about having profits at the end of the day, we know, yes, okay, lifestyle changes, right? But at the end of the day, more so than not, you're able to do more and give more back than to just have that profit for yourself. That means that you're able to pass on savings to your employees. That improves your employee benefits. The same, it's almost like a stream of positive effect down the road that can happen with savings.
Okay. When a business is looking for something like this, are they reaching out to you before they purchase like their equipment, the payment processing equipment? Does that go through you, or is that separate?
That we provide the whole shebang. So we look at their payment processing. They may have purchased equipment that they're not ready for yet because of a cost. So what we do is take a look. That is why having 2 months of payment processing is very good, because then we can do a really good analysis for that customer, show them the equipment that's best fit for their needs at the time. And as they begin to grow, then we're able to add additional processing, a more improved technology just based off of the services that they have.
When if somebody, so we're talking about bigger businesses, let's say somebody's like super small business. It's just, let's say that I do embroidery and I just sell embroidery at like craft fairs and pop-ups and things like that. Do I need a payment processor?
I would say yes, because and it also depends on your business. And this is where you get into the regulations as far as IRS is concerned. And so our team would be able to take that business and say and make suggestions as to what products they need in order to service, because they might just need a machine that you now know we got the tap on the credit cards where you just tap it, you don't have to touch it. We have those products. Or it might be just that they need something simple that they just swipe their card through. We have products that attach to your cell phone that you just swipe and go. And it makes it easy because of the type of business that they have, as well as they're still able to save. And that's what's important to me, is what is that bottom line effect to that business going to be?
Tell me this, why would somebody not just do, if they are really small, like PayPal or Venmo? Like let's say they say, hey, I've got to scan my Venmo, my Venmo. What's the advantage to work with somebody like you as opposed to doing PayPal, Venmo, cash, that sort of thing?
Well, first of all, they don't get my wonderful personality.
Exactly.
And secondly, it's about customer service, but at the end of the day, it's about costs. And those same services have costs that are attached to them. So even if they're currently using any of those services like PayPal and Venmo, guess what? We will do a comparison for them. And here is the transparency of everything. We're going to tell them you need to stay where you are because that best fits you, or here are some additional options. That is what I love about what I do. It's everything is transparent and no one is trying to hide anything to try to get business. If it does not fit, we don't try to make it fit.
Okay. And then what about I was thinking through like taxes, things like that. I don't know how that works with like using a Venmo versus a payment processor. Would that be different? Are you able to keep track of it better when you're working with somebody like you as opposed to just kind of doing it myself via Venmo, for example?
You would have some, let's say your records would be more concise, um, as far as keeping those records. Now, the uh, regulations, I don't get into that, but as far as keeping records are concerned, you will definitely have better records. And that is what you want to have in the process.
Gotcha. And how does that work? Do you get them daily, weekly, monthly?
Whatever fits that business. If they want them daily, they get them daily. If they want them weekly, they get them weekly. And they actually have their own website where they can go and pull and customize those things according to what their business needs, because some businesses would need them daily. When I say it's customized, it is truly customized for that customer. Um, and at that time, I always encourage business owners, ask as many questions as possible, because that what that does, it outlines what your specific needs are versus having comparing you to someone that does 10,000 transactions in a day. Well, yeah, I wish that for everyone, but at the end of the day, that is not real life. So at the end of the day, the key is asking enough questions and probing and identifying what your needs are so that that system is customized to your business.
A good question is coming in here. Somebody asking, do you work with third-party services, for instance, with a rent collecting app?
Yes, we do all. If you accept payment processing of any kind, we will customize that according to your business.
Okay, okay, gotcha. So you do work with all of those.
Yes.
Um, when somebody, I feel like I'm thinking back to like the cable days. Now I don't know if people are getting cable or what they're doing for TV, but I remember it was always like if you bundle, you save. Does it work the same with you?
We are looking at a package. Actually, with our payment processing, there's some bundling that you can do that customize to the customer business. But at the end of the day, the goal is to cut costs comparing to what they're paying now, and then on top of that, show them how they can profit from it. That is what we do.
Okay, got it, got it. And then when it comes to internet, how, everybody knows you can just call like whoever, AT&T or whoever, get internet. I'm sure you can get AT&T for business, that sort of thing. How is it different working with you to get that versus calling directly to a company?
What's different is that I actually work with those guys. We work with the largest industry of internet providers that there are. The difference here is that we show the business owner how to gain profit from having their own internet through the service. And that's another sidebar that we could go into, but that is we're looking at customization as well as profit for that business.
And how does that work? Yeah, how would somebody earn profit off of that?
One of the ways that they would do that is having their own service themselves, and they would have some additional information that I could provide um, as a sidebar. Would not prefer to talk about that on this call, but I would provide that to that individual because I need to really see what their needs are, and then we could talk about how I could best service them to show them their profit. And that is what I mean when I say personalized customer services. That's what we do because we don't try to put a square in a round hole, and so we do that customization for the customer.
Okay, gotcha. Is it sort of like how you go to Starbucks and you use their internet? Other people are using their internet? Is it like that?
No, it actually is for that business, and there are ways to lock down, of course, your internet. You notice that when you go into some businesses and you have to have a password to get in,
Mhm.
that is locked down. That means that they're not allowing anyone else to service their internet and uh, increase their bandwidth because behind the scenes, their process has been set up based maybe off of bandwidth. And they don't want that expanded because that means that there's higher costs and fees that they'll be charged. And then you can go to some places where you pull up the Wi-Fi and it says uh, guest Wi-Fi, da 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 da, whatever the company is. They are allowing because it is an open bandwidth of that they set up for their company. So there's different nuances to all of why each company does and why each company requires that specialized service to me when we are looking at that.
Now, when it comes to these types of things, how does somebody know when they're getting into their business or they're working with somebody like you that their customers' information is safe and secure? I feel like that's such a big topic lately. Privacy and where, who you're giving your credit card information to, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. We have top of the line, state of the art security. Does that mean that it never can be breached? I don't think so because I think people always find ways to do whatever they're going to do. But at the end of the day, um, it's always kept up to date. It's always being customized. It's always being changed because the industry has changed. We never looked at internet the way we look at internet today prior to COVID. It changed everything. Number one, more people are using the internet. And so at the end of the day, in order to keep up with technology, you got to have really top of the line individuals that are working and individuals that are keeping up to date with what's happening in the market. And I could tell you some scary stories that I've heard. But at the end of the day, our services actually prevented a lot of the scams and fraud that was happening. So I'm a firm believer in it because I have it, and so I'm elated about it. And then there's some other services that we could layer on top of that that we also offer to businesses and to independent owners as well.
How did you get into this as a business? I know you initially started off in the mortgage industry. How did you get into what you do now?
You know, in 2012, I left the corporate world. And as part of leaving the corporate world, I used to travel 24/7 every day. Every week, I was on a plane. I used to tell people, I think I took off 2 weeks during the holidays, but I did that for many years. A friend of mine one night invited me to see a presentation and asked me, um, would I be their guest? And for the first time in my life, I had never heard of being paid on something that I was already being paid for, paying for, I should say. And that was my electricity. That started me down a road from electricity to internet to payment processing to healthcare to identity protection to travel. And it built into a suite of services that I could show businesses and individuals that you already are paying this, why not get paid off of it? And that is what I'm so proud of. And I will do this until I love what I do.
That's awesome. You'll do it until. What was it hard to start learning all these different avenues? I mean, I think that even just payment processing and internet and things like that are some of the things that prevent people from getting into any business to begin with.
Yeah. No, not at all. You know why? It's because I have a team of individuals that once that person goes to the website and they sign up for service, a team of individuals will reach out to them. I initiate it and I keep in touch with my customers, but I have a team of people that will go through and customize that payment processing. The same thing with internet and any of my healthcare services. The same thing. It happens. That is what a team of individuals will do for me as part of my business. So I don't have to know everything, but I do have to understand them.
I know, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know a lot. You know a lot about a lot of different things. For people who were not here last week, we actually covered impact health sharing. She talked about affordable healthcare for entrepreneurs and small business owners, individuals, that sort of thing. So that's one component of your business. If people are interested in that, the replay is up now on the YouTube channel, so you can go through there. And we've got really like this hour-long situation. Again, you can kind of sit and listen to it and enjoy it while you're eating lunch, or or you can really just sit in and tune in and focus on us either way, but that's out there. What are some of the other things that you do in your business outside of the healthcare?
Healthcare is one of the leading things, but we provide a travel service as well. One thing that I love about my travel service is that it has a concierge service to it. So, depending on your program that you choose, which is platinum or gold, um, that individual, you know how you hate to wait in the airport and you're sitting there with everybody waiting for your plane.
Yes.
Well, our concierge service has avenues that you wait in your own private room where you can sip on whatever. And most individuals are not privy to those, but it's there. And by having our service, you're able to partake. You get your own concierge service, which means if you want to plan a trip to Hawaii, all you do is pick up the phone, call your concierge service, tell them the dates that you want to leave. if you want a car to pick you up or not, and where, if you have an idea of where you want to stay, they will plan your whole trip for you, which is great if you're taking family with you. I always tell people, if you're taking family with you and you're trying to get a hotel room and you're booking a lot of rooms, or a cruise for a family, um, it's great because you know all you do is just give them the information and they take care of everything for you. And then on top of that, the other services that we show individuals to save money on, businesses as well as individuals, is our mobile service. Everyone cannot leave home without it, right? And if we do, we're going to turn around and go back, no matter how far down the road we are. We're going to come back and get that cell phone. And so we have a plethora, I said, of services. But you know what they're all based off of? Number one, customer service. Number two, savings. And number three, showing an individual that they can save and profit from what they're already paying. So simple. But I've been doing it since 2012, and I love what I do.
I was hoping you were going to say, Jackie, that you're also a pilot and you were just going to like put us all in your private jet. I mean, I'm not mad that that's not the case, but I was kind of looking forward to it because I did just fly with a newborn, and I don't know that anybody on that plane ever wants to see me again. I might be bound to stay in Texas for the rest of my life. So when we look at all of these different things, I think if people are, I've got a question here saying how do you make money off of this outside of the business?
Well, we show, like I said, that's a private conversation that I will have because I need to understand what that individual is looking for. It's just that all of our services are built so that if you pay that in your monthly expenses every month, we will show you how to save money and also profit from what you're doing with the savings. Simple concept, uh, is why I loved it because I didn't have the time uh, for a lot of learning. And so when they told me that I did not have to learn all of these services, I just needed to know about the services because if I'm having a conversation with someone that I've never met before and they need something, it may be something that I have and I can share that information with them and show them how to save on it.
Tell me this, what size of business is best suited for what you do and who you serve?
My huge focus is for employers with less than 49 employees. And less than 49 employees is a classification by IRS, not by us. And so that is considered a small business. And one of the things that I find with the small businesses with our services, I'll give you an example. I had a restaurant owner, actually had owns two restaurants out of Illinois, moved to Texas to open up two restaurants. And we were able to show them, well, they moved, so I was able to set them up with their electricity. Um, and then for their business, we were able to do their electricity. We did their internet, we did their payment processing. And as his employees started to grow, healthcare. And so at the end of the day, his savings was huge and it was a benefit on his um, advertisement for employment and recruiting to offer at a restaurant healthcare. That was amazing because normally individuals that work at a restaurant do not get healthcare. And if it is very costly. And so that is what we do. We take a look at that individual services and their business to see what benefits that will match for them and help them save money on it. Jenny, your questions have been absolutely outstanding, as always. I wanted today to open this up for more questions, and your questions have been spot on.
Well, good. I'm full of them. And I want people to know too, and I know some of you are sending direct messages, that's totally fine. You can do it in the public chat, you can do it in the direct chat. And I'm consistently monitoring these and taking these down too. If you have something, even if you have something specific to your business, we can use it as a scenario. We can use it as a jumping off point, that sort of thing. Would it be, what type, I mean, I look at this, Jackie, and I'm like, okay, what do you, not what you provide. Maybe the better question is what you don't provide with somebody starting a business. At what point would somebody reach out to you? Is it like once they've formed their LLC? Is it like once they break ground, or what point in their process?
At the beginning of their process, if they are looking at purchasing a location and they have a storefront, or they don't have a storefront yet, but they accept Visa or MasterCard, we're able to tailor to their volume. That is what I love. And then if you have someone that has a storefront, then that individual, we're going to take a look. Maybe they don't even have a payment processing history yet that we can base it off of, but industry standards based off of a lot of behind the scenes data for the area. It goes and looks at all the zip codes in that area, what those businesses, similar businesses are doing, and based off of that can provide a quote to the individual. And that's what I mean when I say, and then it can be streamlined. Okay, say that it's based off of one thing going in the door, but their business just blooms and now their payment processing is up. Now that means more savings to them. Who would have thought that you could say, my business is increasing and I have fees that I need to pay, but I'm still making profit? That is a misnomer. And that is what I like to tell individuals on all of our services. That is what we do. It's a benefit to just take a look to see if you can save. And then we meet you where you are in the business world.
Now, is it when you're working with companies or when people are considering reaching out to you, is it just retail type companies, or would this work for, say, like a doctor's office or an insurance company or something like that?
Any business, any industry with less than 49 employees, we can take a look. And here's another example. Had a business, they had 3 LLCs and they had employees under each, total 40 under one, 30 under another, 15 under another. We were able to still help them because each of their businesses were named under one LLC. That was the title of their company, but they had 3 other companies underneath their LLC. So we were able to still help them and service each of their customers. One thing I do want to make clear about healthcare: if the employee is a smoker and they tell us that they're a smoker, then that does affect their cost, and there's for a reason, and they go through the reasons with the individuals based off of their age. That's how in-depth the review is. And so they're able to tell them up front before they make a decision, to before they decide or sign anything, they know what their actual costs. The transparency in our process is what I love, because that is what I live by. It's just being transparent to individuals, letting them know what your cost is up front and what your savings is up front.
And then if there's like an issue with it, let's say, which there would never be an issue with anything that you contract with, but let's say like the internet goes down or something like that. And they're working with you, do they reach out directly to the provider? Do they reach out to you, or what's that relationship once everything's started?
Great. Just like with our healthcare, our internet, mobile, electricity, payment processing, you have an 800 number that you call, and that is our service team for each of them. Each of them have their own because they're each different entities. But if you don't happen to get someone when you need them, that's when you call Jackie Jones. and Jackie Jones is going to pick up her phone and say, "How can I help you?" And we'll do a three-way to get someone on the phone to help you. That is what we do.
Is there okay, so you're referencing, so there's a larger like arm of what you do, I'm guessing.
Correct.
Like are you one office of a larger entity?
Yes, that is what I do. My goal is to increase my service print for businesses. And the reason that I decided to step out like that is because I wanted the customer to really, we just don't have the customer service that we used to have. And I want people to know that that's still out there, that people do care. They're not just a number, and that they have someone that they can call on. And a backup to the backup is what I call it. So I do have a team of individuals that they could call that 800 number to, but I also give out my personal cell phone number to individuals that are my customers so that they know that they can reach out to me. And plus, it's a good way for them to send referrals.
We're sending referrals. We're looking for that private room at the airline, place to hide a screaming baby. We're looking for all the things. Now, when a company goes through this process, how long does it typically take, like from initially contacting you to getting everything set up if they're going to do everything with you?
Mhm. So you would go to the website and you would go to the services button and click on the service that you want. Now, I like to talk to the customer before they go to the website because I like to show them and explain and then ask any questions that they may have. That's what I prefer because that's just me, what I do. And then if they prefer to just go to the website and click on the service, once they click on the service, for instance, with payment processing, we will get them, if they upload if they currently have payment processing that they're doing, and they upload their 1 month or 2 months of payment processing, we will get back with them within 48 hours. Sometimes the same day, because the information is uploaded through our system, we get them their quote, their pricing, and their profit. That is what, quote, pricing, and profit. You just don't hear those words together at one time. And it just makes me so happy to be able to say that to small businesses, that your bottom line can be positively affected by working with us because we have so many services that we can offer you to have savings on. Oops, you're muted. You went muted.
Amateur hour over here. I'm on mute. I'm trying to mute in between so that if I'm typing with somebody, it doesn't it doesn't pop up. So that process, I guess it just depends on how many things they sign up with you for. That's how it's determined, like
Yes.
how long it takes to get everything going.
Yeah, and so let me give you, for instance, with electricity, if they sign up by 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, their service is moved over because most services are on a smart meter. So the following day, they are my customer, and then they get a bill for their prior services, and then they get a bill starting for the services that they sign up with me. For mobile service, it's a matter of what type of phone they have. That's enough. That could be just like that, or it could be that we have to send off and get a SIMS card for them, or it's actually mailed to them within 24 hours. It actually goes out within 24 hours. They have it that next day. Um, with the travel service, it's immediate. Person goes in, they complete their information, they pay for the program they want, and they get their member information right there on the screen. And then a card is mailed to them if they prefer a card, but they can scan a QR code and get their service started. So had an individual that was going on a trip and they go, "Oh my God, Jackie, I should have called you for my trip." And I said, "That's okay. Go to the website, get signed up, and they were able to plan the rest of their trip through the concierge service. They didn't get their flight and all that through the service, but they did get the rest of their trip planned because they got the service with the concierge. They loved it. So it gives me chills when I talk about things like that because, I made a customer happy, and that's my goal.
It's good to make people happy, right? We want everyone to be
I like
satisfied.
being happy.
What's the process like if somebody, so we talked about if you're a new business when you start, right? It's like right when you're breaking ground, right when you're getting going. Let's say for somebody who's an established business and they are working with lots of different types of providers and they're thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll look into switching over with Jackie. What does that look like?
With the healthcare, that's going to take, they go to the system, they enter their information, they get their quote. Within 24 hours, we will reach out to them. I say we because it's a team. We'll reach out to them to schedule and go over all of the information regarding healthcare because we want to walk them through if they have had any prior issues and they are outside of that 36-month period. We will walk them through those services. We'll walk them through the prescription service, which individuals are saving 50 to 70% less than what they're paying right now. We'll walk them through our telehealth service, show them the website. And the key thing with our healthcare is that you get your own personalized website to go through and it identifies. And here's the other piece that I love, love, love is that every month when you pay your health care, what you don't use is almost like having a savings account. Because at any time that you decide that you don't want Impact Health Sharing any longer, and you have not used up your funds, those funds are sent back to you 90 days after you leave Impact Health Sharing. There is no company alive right now that can say that except for Impact Health Sharing, which is a nonprofit, and that we don't have profit. So at the end of the day, that is why I feel that we will revolutionize. I tell individuals that were employees or owners, if you've had healthcare with any other company before and you changed, did they send you a check? No, you did not get one. With Impact Health Sharing, if that happens, you will get a check on the 91st day after leaving because they have to ensure that there's no outstanding bills or anything of that nature. I had never heard of that. And our customized technology is what is going to change the market. I tell individuals we are the Amazon of healthcare.
I think that is it's a great example, right? Now, is just the healthcare nonprofit or is the whole business as a whole nonprofit?
Impact Health Sharing is nonprofit. So it's just the healthcare that's nonprofit.
Okay, got it. And then, but it's combined. Is the billing is it all one bill or is it separate bills for separate services?
Separate bill for separate services. Each service has its own website, personalized website that an individual will get that they will go to.
Got it. Okay, Jackie, what's the process if somebody's like, okay, this is kind of interesting, but I've got more questions. I was too scared to type them in the chat and I want to reach out to Jackie. What does somebody do from here in order to potentially move forward or just sort of like have a call to inquire?
Get in touch with me at my website or my email, preferably my email. And my email is Jackie J cut costs, not care at gmail.com. And once I have your email, then we have our first conversation. What I like to do is then personalize it and give you my cell phone information. But I just prefer to do it that way, and that way we can have a conversation and we can talk as soon as possible.
Is there a website somebody can go to right now if they kind of want to just like, be a looky-loo, kind of just, look through it before calling you?
Absolutely. You can go to my website at www.jackiej dot Jackie 21 Jones dot acnibo.com. You'll see my picture there in the top right corner, and my contact information is there as well.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay, Jackie, this is what's next in your career avenue. You've gone from mortgage industry to this. What's on the horizon for you professionally?
I like helping individuals, and so I'm going to stay in that field, whatever I can do to help. And there are more products coming online, and the goal here is whatever you're currently paying in your expenses right now. We want to help you save on whatever you're paying, so you don't have to change your habit. You're just going to save money on what you're doing now.
Ah, excellent. Well, Jackie, thank you. It's been fun to chat with you the last couple of weeks. I appreciate the time
Thank you so much, Jenny. You are awesome. Thank you very much.
out there. And also, we want to invite you April 4th, 60 years of service, employment, redevelopment at the Irving Convention Center in Las Colinas. It's the convention. You'll get to see a lot of the speakers that are coming for the events. They'll actually be there live and in person, which is kind of fun because I know many of them you've seen at various webinars, and so you might have a question you want to ask in person. There will be it's kind of this combination of networking, education, and also a lot of fun. So that is coming up April 4th if you are local or want to make yourself local on April 4th. And then also, if you are looking for something a little bit more virtual, if you're more into something that you can do from your computer or from your home, SARE STEM Day is coming up April 5th, 11 to 2 Central Standard Time. So 11 to 2 Central Standard Time. You guys, they got a huge VIP. Jose Hernandez, who's a former NASA astronaut, is actually going to be there for the STEM Day. So, I mean, talk about heavy hitters all the way around. Lots of just really invigorating conversation. And I have to say, the STEM Day is pretty fun too, because there will be giveaways and quizzes throughout. So what you'll want to do is you'll go to the same website that you went to register for this session to get more information about the 60th annual conference, and then also about SARE STEM Day. Both of those will be up on the website. So I look forward to seeing you all next week, same time, same place. Bye, everybody.